What's up there, my loves, and welcome to another edition of Just Trending News. Today, we're going to be speaking about everything that's related to Faith Nketsi and her husband, Mr. Njilo. I don't exactly know his first name, so for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be calling him exclusively by Mr. Njilo. So we all know that there's been a lot of reports that have been doing the rounds, namely people speaking about or speculating about the status of Faith Nketsi's marriage to her current husband, Mr. Njilo. A lot of people are actually saying that she's left their matrimonial home. They're currently separated. People are speculating about the fact that they're going through a divorce. There's actually a picture that's been doing the rounds of what it seems like with Faith Nketsi being out and about, because as we all know, she's gone back to hosting now that she's given birth to her child. She's back to hosting, she's back to working, because I think that was her primary profession before she actually got married and had the child. She was hosting, had a reality TV show, she was just basically doing a whole bunch of stuff. And so there's this picture that's doing the rounds of her basically surrounded by a group of men, and there's this one guy in particular. His name is Deleuze, and he's got his arm around her, and they're seen laughing and and whatnot. And a lot of people are speculating that Faith Nketsi has now officially gone back to the streets because of these pictures. And I know that she even captioned the picture and said that she's known these people for a long time, they're her friends. She's out here defending herself because honestly she is under fire and under attack on Twitter. And for a variety of reasons, Slick Talk has spoken about it. There have been various blogs that have spoken about this. Obviously, various opinions that have been shared on Twitter and, what have you. People are just basically speculating about the status of her marriage, especially considering the fact that Mr. Njilo is rumored to be currently broke. As we all know, it was alleged that they had their furniture taken because Mr. Njilo was found to have been allegedly involved in some shady dealings. It was basically alleged that he was defrauding people and whatnot. So it would seem as though the financial situation between Faith Nketsi and her husband, Mr. Njilo, is not great, allegedly, which is why I would assume that she's permanently gone back to hosting clubs and doing all of these things, right? But that's, it's not a problem. I think people have highs and people have lows. They did get into a marriage. I don't know what his pockets looked like before Mr. Njilo married Faith Nketsi, but I would assume that his pockets were quite fat, because a girl like Faith Nketsi is obviously going to go for the creme de la creme, and I say this in air quotes, of a man, meaning a man that's got a fat bank account, right? So what I've been noticing has been happening on Twitter for the past couple of days is that a lot of people have been rejoicing at the news and the speculation that Faith Nketsi has left her husband because her husband is broke, or that Faith Nketsi is no longer in her matrimonial home. And a lot of people are making remarks along the tune of, what did you expect from a Faith Nketsi? She's from the streets, so she will forever go back to the streets. And something that just, has been resonating in my mind for the longest time is how misogynistic all of these comments are, because they are primarily saying that the reason why the marriage is allegedly failing or breaking apart or whatever is because of the type of person that Faith Nketsi is. But my question is that if as society we weren't as misogynistic as what we actually are, shouldn't we then be asking or begging the question of, if Mr. Njilo married Faith Nketsi knowing the type of person that Faith Nketsi is, then if she leaves him when he doesn't have money anymore because, for some reason, because maybe they found out that he was in fact defrauding people, or for some other reason, but if ever she were to leave her husband because he no longer has the bank account to support her, then he shouldn't be shocked, right? Because what I've noticed about a certain type of men, or a certain type of man, is that they tend to go over certain type of women once they make money. Their taste for women changes, right? And so when they get into relationships with these women who are usually kept with money, there's almost like a non-verbal contract between these people of, I'm only with you for as long as your pockets are fat. Once your pockets stop being fat, then forget about me being in the picture, or forget about me being in your life. So my question is, why are we trying to vilify Faith Nketsi for, leaving her husband? I don't think she has left her husband. I was just asking myself, why are we trying to vilify her if, from what I believe, her husband wouldn't be shocked if she left anyways? Because guys, come on, there's an unwritten contract between these people, a verbal contract, They all know how slave queens work. They all know how beautiful women are. They all know what a lot of societal standards are when it comes to relationships and women wanting money and, only getting into relationships for money. So why the hell would he be shocked that Faith Nketsi would decide to leave him if he no longer had money? And why are we shocked that Faith Nketsi would decide to leave him if he didn't have money? But anyways, that was just my 2 cents. Tell me what you think about this in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. According to my opinion, I don't think they're getting a divorce. I don't think they're separated. I do think they're money issues. Obviously, nobody knows anything, that's for sure, but I do think they're money issues. But I think that we should stop vilifying Faith Nketsi and stop basically calling her a strat mate and for the streets and all of these things that we're calling her. It's really not nice. Mr. Njilo knew exactly what he was getting himself into when he married a Faith Nketsi, so he's definitely not a victim by any chance. He went in there with his eyes wide open. Tell me what you think in the comment section, my darlings, and I will see you in my next update. Goodbye, lovelies.